Sweet Home Alabama, and they do a lot of good stuff about Alabama up on Sand Mountain. And, you know, we're right here, Dr. Ted, in Sylacauga, Alabama. We kind of like it here, don't we?
Yeah, I like it. I've lived 3 or 4 different places, and Sylacauga's my home.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want it to, you know, Sweet Home Alabama, the Sweet Home Sylacauga, as far as I'm concerned.
No doubt about it. You know, Dr. Ted Spears, our guest this morning from Sylacauga Arts Council, and they got the dinner theater coming up. This thing started many years ago, Dr. Ted.
Yes, it did. It started with 3 or 4 women who wanted to organize a program so that they could help the schools with the arts programs that they had. The music, the visual arts, photography, live actors, the whole 9 yards. And they have been done a wonderful job, and we are continuing in that. The Arts Council, each year we've been making grants of $500 for each school in the county. And that is all the schools in Sylacauga, the county schools, North Coosa County, and then we support the Beth Yates Scholarship we give to the Miss Sylacauga winner each year to help defray the expenses on that. And we have other programs from the beginning to this is what, 2025, that we've been doing every year for the schools, and we always stand in way of an emergency need for a good cause for the arts. And we think it enriches the community, and we know that it makes it easier on the art teachers and the elementary teachers to have access to some money to do some unexpected things or do some outstanding things that come on the menu without our knowledge. And that's what we're about. So the Arts Council, the dinner theater, is one of the things that we sponsor. We don't make any money on it, but we are thanking the adults of Sylacauga to come together. And this year we've got a top-tier band coming in, and Dr. Tara Douglas and her group have worked with them on picking songs from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, so that it won't be anything futuristic or so historic that people won't know what it is. So kind of a sing-along outfit for our congregation. And so we do that each year, and we think it's a hallmark of the kind of things that arts councils do. We don't have to worry about where the need is. We know where the need is. The need is among our young people and our community on the arts and related subjects. So
you remember, Dr. Ted, you mentioned 3 or 4 ladies started this. You remember any names that started that?
Yeah, well, Lady Byram, Beth Yates, Maxie Beasy, the Ann Gray.
Well, that's names we remember, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's names that we remember. And Shirley Cardwell is still around. And so the impact that this has had really makes it those people visionaries. They just realize that, hey, there's something missing, and what can we do? And we've done everything from bringing in outstanding individual musical people to spend a few days. We've had one program where we brought in poets, and that's people who write poetry for a living, to come in and stay a week or so and go into the schools and talk with the children about the importance of writing poetry and what poetry really is. And so, you know, the emphasis is unlimited of what we can do, and the way things change in this day and time, we need to stay alert so that we can maintain and keep the good things and let the others go by the wayside. They'll take care
I'm
of
sure that's what those ladies were thinking about. They were visionaries, thinking about the future.
Absolutely, and of course, Beth Yates, we give a scholarship to Miss Sylacauga each year. It's called the Beth Yates Performing Arts Scholarship. in honor of Beth and all the things that she did. And there's probably not enough money in Sylacauga to pay Beth what she was really worth.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, how's this dinner theater going to work? How can people get more information? What's going to be happening that night?
That night we're meeting at the program is going on at the Sylacauga Recreation Center.
What date is it now?
This is February the 13th.
Okay.
And that's the night before Valentine's Day, the next day. So the romance angle enters into that, and we've got that. And the meal will be provided by the Hickory Street Cafe.
Can't go wrong there.
Vanessa and her crew always do such a marvelous job, and we're lucky to have her and the hospital group that handles our food for us. And so we'll have introduction of the new Miss Sylacauga, Amelia Tucker, and she'll be talking about her reign and the importance of it. And when we look at this, the Sylacauga has the oldest Miss Alabama contest, and when you realize that historically we're in the forefront there, and then this year Miss Alabama wins the Miss America contest, and so we're thrilled with the part that Sylacauga plays. And Sylacauga is a fantastic venue for young women to have an opportunity to branch out and to go further.
And, we had Miss Teen Alabama, too, that did well.
Absolutely.
Also.
And Miss Teen Alabama, that we also contribute money for scholarships for Miss Teen Alabama. And so we just got hundreds of young girls that we feel like we're affecting their lives in a positive manner.
So what's going to be happening, and how can people get tickets?
All right, the tickets are on sale. We have tickets on sale at the Broadway Chiropractic Clinic, and they're on sale at the Chamber of Commerce and at the B.B. Comer Library. And we encourage people to buy individual tickets, but you can buy the individual tickets for $25. The reserved seats, or the reserved tables rather, will seat 8 people. And you can buy a reserved table and make sure that you have your name or your organization's name on the table. And so those tickets are on sale now, and everything is looking excitingly good. And it's because of the 4 or 5 young women. I'd like to say there's some men helping them, but I'm not sure of that. But
it's good to throw them in there, though.
Yeah. They're in the background. You go, girl.
Yeah.
But it's a real exciting time for us, and we will also give an award to the recognition and a plaque to the person who has contributed the most to the arts in the Sylacauga community during the past year. So and then we'll have that exciting music, and those people who can feel the need to get up and dance can. Of course, we'll take pictures of that so we can.
That leaves me out right there. So talk a little bit, Dr. Ted. We touched on it briefly, but talk about the importance of the arts, not only in Sylacauga but in Alabama.
Well, the most important thing is that all of the studies and all of the relics and everything else that's left over from any outstanding society historically, the arts have been one of the main things that, I'm talking about the musical arts, I'm talking about the visual arts, I'm talking about sculpting, I'm talking about photography. All of those things have changed, and they've changed. Really, art has changed the future of this world, and certainly this country. And who would have thought in 1935 that 2 people would be talking in Sylacauga, Alabama, and it going all over the state? That was just unheard of. And this is not just a business. This is an artistic endeavor. The television world, and so the outfits that we have done, we have improved on the performing arts, and sociologists and psychologists who study the importance of education and what it does have decided that a person who would make an outstanding scientist or an outstanding school teacher or an outstanding governmental agent or an outstanding public servant all had a strong heart background in school. And so, you know, since we get a report like that, we think we need to keep the arts in the forefront and fund the arts. And now we have a superintendent and we've always looked at it from a standpoint of how it improves the curriculum. But our current superintendent has gone the extra mile and added more music and dance into the curriculum so that the students can express themselves. And then the people within the corporate world look for individuals who can stand before a large audience and make a presentation and explain things. And that the people who haven't had the training in the arts just don't fare as well as those who had it. And so it's one of the strongest educational components, but and the most used, but sometimes we forget what it can do.
No doubt about it. Dr. Ted Spears with us this morning, Sylacauga Arts Council and the Dinner Theater coming up next month. And, you know, not just Sylacauga City School, but Talladega County School System and North Coosa County on the cutting edge of the arts world and our future for our students in our area.
And you know, it's done a great job. Two or three things that I remember. One of the years we asked them to write grants, and Teresa offered to handle our grants for us for a number of years. They did an outstanding job of moving our arts more into the schools and helping more. But the most fascinating thing is that a few years back that Fayetteville School chose to spend their money for guitars or to promote it, and every kid in the school, they had a day or night that they brought their guitar to school. Wow. Where it was a homemade guitar or another. And what that said to them, hey, music is important. It's important enough for the schools to take time, and the children and their parents all just enjoyed the fact that everybody was out looking for a guitar. And I know that in Muscle Shoals, that when the latest people got the famous up there, in there interviewing them, they asked one of the residents there, said, why is Muscle Shoals such an important part of the recording industry and what have you? He said, well, at one time, every home in Muscle Shoals had a guitar player in it.
Goodness.
And he said, and now it's become a tradition that now everybody plays an instrument. And if you don't have the instrument, you just look down on it. It's like you're not feeding your children, or you're being cruel to your neighbor.
My grandson has 2 guitars
Really?
in my home, and he strums them too. So he's into the arts and music as well. So again, let's capsule where we are with the Dinner Theater coming up.
Well, at this particular point, we're out, all these people, the tickets are on sale, as I said, at the Atlas Chiropractic Clinic on Broadway here, at the Chamber of Commerce, and at the library. And the word that I got back yesterday is that the ticket sales are going very well. And we had one people that we called on that bought a reserved table, and the man in that particular thing, and I won't call the names because I didn't sell the tickets, he said, I don't think y'all getting enough money for that. I'm going to add $50 to this for y'all for the use of whatever y'all think is important. So our people are out there talking it up, and then we're getting great response from all of our commercial agencies here, you know, the stores, the banks, the insurance companies, the governmental agencies are coming to the forefront and supporting us, and we'll have in the neighborhood of 300 people there helping us celebrate and recognize the leaders in the community and the beautiful girls with Miss Sylacauga and Miss Teen, Little Miss Sylacauga.
You know, Dr. Ted, you mentioned over 300 people are going to be in attendance, and it's all boots on the ground. It takes a lot of people to pull something like this off.
Yeah, it does, and we're meeting in the morning with our leadership team, about 8 or 9, 10 people, and that's a group from the board, which the Arts Council board, which has 22 members, and we meet once a month and talk about things. And one of the things that we did, we joined with the Beautification Council to put up this beautiful mural across the street.
It is gorgeous, yeah.
And so, you know, that has been one of the most interesting things. And then Lee Sintel with the tourism department commented on that he was delighted to see that. Of course, he comes through here often. He lived, born and raised in Ashland in Clay County. And his mother was a school teacher. So he understands what we're doing, and so we're on the radar with the Arts Council and with the Tourism Bureau. And the mural that the Arts Council and the Beautification Council, the Chamber, were responsible for is one of those things. We got one too. We're looking at other venues, and Tara and her group are in a conversation with a couple of other businesses about painting an additional mural that says something about Sylacauga. Say, this is pure Sylacauga. When you look at that mural, you know you're in Sylacauga, Alabama.
Well, for people who are watching this show goes throughout the state of Alabama in some 650,000 households, if people are, say, living in Mobile or Montgomery or Columbus, Georgia, or some other part of the state, how can they find out more about this event? Can they go online and find out anything about it?
We have a presence online. We have a Facebook.
Okay.
And the Arts Council, the Sylacauga Arts Council, Sylacauga, Alabama, and they can go in there. We have our periodic information and a way to contact people, and the way that artists can contact us the same way and say, hey, I see what y'all are doing, and this is what my talent is. I fit into any of your plans. And so that gives us an opportunity to meet and know people that we normally would never run into.
Yeah, you know, you and I can get in on that 50s and 60s and 70s music, can't we, Dr. Ted?
Well, if you know how to jitterbug, I add you to the list. If you don't know how to jitterbug, I don't think we want you.
We can get out there and fake it anyway. Dr. Ted Spears, our guest this morning, Sylacauga Arts Council. And Dr. Spears, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming by this morning.
Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
All right, more Daybreak coming up right after this.